It's been a while since I've done this. I don't know where to start. No idea where to start. I can feel a lot bubbling within me. Back in 2020 and 2021, I used to set up my camera just like this. Whenever I felt low or felt like I had something I had to get off my chest, and I would just talk to the camera. So for those of you who don't know, I'm in the US at the moment, more specifically Las Vegas. I've been in the States for about 2 weeks now. It's been a lot. There's been a lot of things happening. A lot of really fun things have unfolded, a lot of really chaotic things have unfolded, but also some really, really hard things have unfolded as well. And I've been on a pretty deep introspective journey while being here. And as it stands, as I'm talking to the camera, I definitely feel a lot surfacing. The last, I would say, 6 or 7 months, pretty much the whole of this year, I've been the most grounded and confident version of myself I think I've ever been, which is a really beautiful feat. And a lot of that's because I've been I've had a very good routine for myself. I've been eating better, training, I've been doing creative things that fill up my cup. I've been pursuing my lifelong dream of becoming a YouTuber full time. So there's been a lot of really beautiful things to help ground me. But the past couple days here in Vegas in particular have been quite difficult. And I feel a lot, as I said, bubbling up for me right now. And I wanted to make a video. So some of you might have noticed that I've been off socials for about over a week now, I think, which is unlike me because I love using social media as a way of communicating with people, and also just sharing stories and my excitement for what's ahead. But I flew from Melbourne to a secret location. I don't want to give it away because it's for a video. And I did a challenge there, and I won't explain what the challenge was because I don't want to spoil it, but pretty much I only got 3 hours sleep that night, and then it was a 8-hour flight to get to that location, and then I spent 24 hours at that location, and then it was another, I think, 14-hour flight from that location to Los Angeles. And literally as soon as I got to Los Angeles, I went straight on a bus to San Francisco, and then straight from San Francisco I went the next day to Yosemite National Park, a small town just outside of Yosemite National Park. And so it was non-stop chaos as soon as I landed in America. And as well as that, I spent a few days at Yosemite National Park, which had pretty much no internet, so I had no way of updating anyone effectively. And I just honestly used it as a sort of momentum to stop being on social media, which was really beautiful and much needed. Now, if you hear random screams, it's because I'm in downtown Las Vegas at the moment, and it is just, there are people here that make noises. They're on all sorts of substances. I promise I'm safe, Mum and Dad. And yeah, I've just been on this crazy introspective journey. I spent a few days in Las Vegas after Yosemite National Park. That was a journey in itself. It was really beautiful. I met this amazing guy, one of the most amazing people I've ever met, Noah. I'm at his crib right now, actually. He's just gone out for a bit. We hired out an orange Mustang and we took it out to Red Rock Valley and did some fun stuff over there, and just the content and just everything we've captured was beautiful. And then Nisha and I, my friend, spent a couple days in Joshua Tree in the desert, at the most beautiful Airbnb ever. Here's some clips of it now. It was just incredible. It was interstellar themed, and it just had all these little details that I just fell in love with. And that was really good for me going there, because it meant that I was able to really ground down and work on a bunch of client projects that I needed to work on specifically and more importantly because I ended up spending a lot more money than I thought I would the first week in America. Inflation here is absolutely crazy. It's beyond what I thought it was, and there was just a lot of hidden travel expenses. And so I was suddenly in this really stressful financial situation that I thought I had gotten myself out of, and it was back, and I was like, oh God. So I just needed to spend some few solid days working, which I did. And then, yeah, at this Airbnb, they had this projector, this outside sort of cinema area. It was freaking wonderful. And Nisha and I decided to use this opportunity to watch Project Iceman. And for those of you who don't know, Project Iceman is a documentary made by Yes Theory, which, you know, as you guys would probably know by now, are a really big inspiration to this channel, but also just my life in general and where I want to take my dreams. It is literally my dream to be doing YouTube full time, to be doing the U Effect full time. It's my absolute dream. And yeah, watching that documentary really hit home. But though I don't want to spoil it too much, but the whole theme around it is showing that limitations are just perceptions. And I just really, just watching what this guy was able to do, run an Ironman, be the first person to ever run an Ironman in Antarctica, and all the hurdles that came up with that really got me thinking about my life. And one thing about me is that even though I love filmmaking and I love, you know, YouTubing, one of my first ever dreams was actually to be an Olympian. But I actually gave up on that dream when I was 16 because I started year 11, and then I was suddenly sort of told, I think at that age when you enter year 11 and 12, that's when the conditioning of the world really starts to hit home, and people tell you that you have to focus on study, you have to get good grades, you have to go to university. And I sort of really fell captive to that, and I quit athletics to focus on studying. Quit the one thing that like gave me solace in the world. Great. And it's obviously gotten to the point now, I'm 23, and I've always thought it's too late for me to ever try and accomplish that dream of being an Olympian. But after watching that documentary, I was just like, you know what? I can still fucking do it. And so eventually that's actually gonna be a goal of mine. I want to make the Olympics in something. It sounds ridiculous, but man, that you watch that documentary and it motivates you to another level. But there is a childhood dream of mine that I want to do first, and that is become a YouTuber full time. And that's where my heart really is. And that's also part of the reason I am making this video, because I have just been on this really deep introspective journey, as I mentioned, in the last couple of days, and I just need to get it out. I can feel a lot of emotions bubbling. I don't cry often these days. Not that there is anything wrong with crying. Literally, I grew up crying. I was a very sensitive kid growing up. I used to cry all the time. This year, I've been crying a lot less because I've been a bit more grounded, and not romanticizing being grounded, but it's been good because I feel like my emotions are more regulated. But this is one of those moments where I feel like I could break down, and you might have been able to hear it in my voice, but I definitely feel it. And a big reason is because, and just being really vulnerable here, like I have a lot of fear. I have known for so long that I want to do this. This is the thing I want to do, the U Effect, this YouTube thing. I want to do it, and I want to do it so bad, and I want to do it well, and there's so much I want to do with it. And I just keep seeming to run into this same hurdle of being able to persist with content. And there's lots of elements that contribute to that. Obviously, there's the fact that I spend a lot of creative energy on my work, so video editing. And that's important because I've created this freedom for myself where I'm able to work from wherever and do videos and work for myself. That's a very important thing for me, but what it also means is that I'm expending a lot of creative energy into things that aren't necessarily the projects that I want to be working on. So there's that element. Element number 2 is like editing, man. I always have this hurdle with editing. Number 3 is social media. And I've sort of been thinking a lot because I just want to make the YouTube videos. I don't want to have to market on social media, but I've come to realize that it is something that I want to do because I enjoy it. First of all, I enjoy the creator cause. And when done well, social media can actually be a really beautiful tool and a fun way to bring an audience to YouTube. And I want to be able to utilize that. I don't want to just ignore it because I don't want to do it. I feel like it's something important. But last night I was listening to a podcast by Yes Theory. But this one was a lot different because it was spoken by Matt, who was one of the co-founders of Yes Theory. And for those who don't know, he actually left 3 years ago, roughly, realized that, you know, he didn't want to be a part of it anymore. But in that time, he was writing a book about Yes Theory. And the whole podcast was actually him coming back to talk about what he had been through. And man, it just, the stuff that he talked about hit so deep because like I could understand where he was coming from. Like he ended up going to this cabin out in the middle of nowhere, actually quite close to where I was like a couple days ago in the States, and he pretty much felt this desire to shed all the old layers of himself and to focus on this book and just to come out new. And I feel that. I can feel so much weight of pressure that I self-inflict because I know how much I really need to accomplish this dream of mine, and to just be hitting the roadblocks that I am is now more than ever just becoming very challenging, and I wanted to be vulnerable and share that with all you guys. I've got a really small audience at the moment, but it is an audience nonetheless, and it is a beautiful, beautiful audience that I treasure so much, and I want to keep an open and vulnerable dialogue with you all. Social media has been a tricky one for me. I've been noticing more and more that I've been comparing myself a lot to content creators, and just not just content creators, but there are people who I was in talks with like 3 to 4 years ago, and I told them, I'm like, you're gonna go places, so you're gonna do it. And sure enough, a lot of these people have, and I am so freaking happy for them. Like I've been sending them messages like, you're amazing, like that's so awesome. But it's also, I would be lying if I said that it wasn't getting to my head a little bit too, because I know where I want to be in terms of my journey, and just to not feel like I'm getting closer is really impacting me. And it's so irrational. This is the thing, it's so irrational because I am, and the fact that I'm even making this video is a step in the right direction, and the fact that I'm even creating content in the first place, that I'm even traveling, I'm in freaking America and I'm making content. Literally, guys, I have like 5 to 7 videos at the moment that need editing. I just can't edit them right now. I can't. I'm not going to, because it's gonna like stop me from pursuing other opportunities while I'm traveling here. And that's also why I'm just like, man, I need an editor, one that I can trust, and one that's just gonna see where my vision is for the U Effect, and to be able to collaborate on some beautiful work. And so that's been another thing. There's just, the thing is, and mind you, this is such an ADHD full video. I'm so sorry. I have a point here, then I have a point here, and they're all sort of interlocked, and I'm not able to truly explain, but I'm sure you guys are following along. But like, yeah, I've just been overwhelmed because I know where I want to be, and I just feel like I keep hitting the same roadblock, and I'm just tired of it. I'm tired, and sort of listening to that podcast from Matt, and how he's sort of just completely taken a step back from social media and all of that has pretty much convinced me that I want to do the same. And so I've decided that I want to take a break from social media from pretty much now all the way up until next year. And the intention of that for me is to really just get into my own heart, get into my own mind about what it is and how I want to approach everything. Because I feel like I'm such a deep empath, and I absorb a lot of information, And I process it, and I'm a lot better at processing it now than I've ever been, but in absorbing all that information, it sometimes seeps into my own values and changes my perspective of things in ways that I don't actually really want it to. And so I've decided that, yeah, I'm gonna take a full step back from social media until January of 2024. And in that time, I'm gonna focus on having content ready and available to start going. I am at a point now where I'm like, there is no more messing around. I can't keep staying in this stagnation of not posting consistently. And I know it's not always about consistently. I want to create content that makes me feel alive and give it the time that it needs. But the thing is, there needs to be an element of consistency as well with these videos. Otherwise, the channel isn't going to develop in the way that I want it to. And so by doing this and giving myself this time, it means that I can put energy and effort into these videos that I adore, while also having a backlog so that when I do post, there is a bit of a kickstart, and that way there is a bit of consistency. I think I just have this desire to do everything at once. And I think a lot of people understand this about me, but also about themselves as well, is that a part of the reason social media has been so tricky for me is because I'll see one person's account, I'll be like, man, that is sick. Like, that's how I want my account to look. But then I'll see someone, and it might be a filmmaking related account, but then I'll see someone with another account and it's about, you know, adventure and doing things outside your comfort zone, and the content doesn't look beautiful, but the feeling that it gives me is like, man, I want that. And then I'm like, wait, I can't do that because everything seems so specialized and niche, and I want to just be able to do it all. But then, and I'm just sort of rambling and just talking about my mind and what I've been thinking about with all this stuff. But I just feel like in doing it all, that it lacks that consistency that I feel like I want within a social account. So anyway, this is all stuff I'm gonna figure out. But the general gist of this video was just to give you guys an update of where I'm at. I'm actually surprised I haven't broken down. I definitely felt like I wanted to before. But I think just talking to the camera about this has already helped so much. And I'm really glad about that, because yeah, sometimes all you need is to talk about things, man. Anyway, so just to summarize, I am taking a break from social media from now until January in 2024. I'm also going to be taking a break from uploading to the U Effect and uploading to the U Effect Instagram. I might still pop on Instagram like on my laptop just to communicate with certain groups of people and do all of that. But in terms of my phone, I'm going to be switching off. Same with Facebook, same with TikTok. Not that I use TikTok. And yeah, I think it's going to give me some much needed declutter that I'm very excited for. So yeah, there's an update with me. Thank you all so much. I think more than anything, like, I also just want to let you guys know how freaking grateful I am for each and every single one of you. There is only roughly 500 people subscribed to this channel, but to even have that number seriously blows me away. It absolutely blows my mind, and I am so grateful for each and every single one of you for everything you have done for me and this channel, and even leading up to this channel, for the people who have hosted me here in the States that have been following me for a while. It's just crazy to think that I have people who have found me and want to look after me while I'm here, not because they know me through a particular group, but through what I do. Like, that's crazy to me. Yeah, my heart's so full, and I just want to say I love you all so much. Thank you for your understanding and for your support. And yeah, I guess this is goodbye until January 2024. We're gonna do it. You're gonna see me, and I'm saying this in front of the camera with all eyes to see, because I don't think I've said it in this way before. But I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this dream come true for myself. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but it is going to happen. I am going to make this YouTube thing a reality for me. But I just want to make it also very clear that the intention isn't just to make it on YouTube. The intention is to spread this love and to help encourage people to be their most authentic selves, and to help, you know, people find that inner flame that's within every single one of us, and to show people that limitations are just perceptions, and that no matter what your circumstances, no matter what you've been through, that you still have the ability to do the things that you love and to live the life that you want to live. That is truly the message that I want to get out to this world above everything else. And you know, maybe I realize in the future that the way I want to do that is in a much more simple way, but for the moment, I just feel this pull towards creating this channel and to make this channel flourish. And I just feel to make this channel flourish that I really need to give myself this time. And so again, thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart for your support. And yeah, I'll see you in January. Peace.